Hello and welcome to At Your Side Virtually. We are brand ambassadors for Brother. I'm Angela Wolf.
I'm Cindy Hogan.
And we have a really fun show for you today. So we are taking over the Brother Sews Facebook page and YouTube page. So we can see your comments. You can feel free to ask questions. If you've never been here before, say hi, say where you're from. This is always so much fun. So Cindy, I watched your show on Tuesday, and I have to tell you, that was so cool. So if anybody missed it, you'll have to go back to Cindy's page and watch it. But today you have something really fun for us as well on that fabulous new 10 needle.
You know it. That new 10 needle is becoming my best buddy, I will have to say. She is so sweet. So sweet.
Did you name her?
Emma.
What?
Emma.
Oh, Emma. I thought you said Emma. Now that's a perfect name.
My mother's name was Emily. We always called her Emma. So I decided she's so pretty, she will be my mother.
Oh, I love that. That's wonderful. I named my luminaire Lumi.
My luminaire's name's Lulu because sometimes the FedEx truck dropped her off the truck. So sometimes her sense is a little bit not there. No fault of hers, but
okay, so that's not something any of us want to happen.
Yeah, no, you don't want your machine dropped off the back end of the FedEx truck. And I looked at him and said, that's a $20,000 machine. He's like, oh, well.
Oh my goodness. So I see everybody rolling in. Hey, everyone. I got Glenda in from California. We got Florida. So what are you going to show us today? Because a lot of people that watched our show last week where we showed all of the new products and everything going on, there were so many comments and questions, and you couldn't possibly, we couldn't answer them all in one day anyways. So I know you have something fun for this week and something fun for next week.
I do. So we're going to play with things that you can do on the 10 needle. You could also do it on your luminaire or part of it on your dream. So it just depends on what you want to do. But I've got a project here that is partially finished. The quilting is all done on it. I haven't got it to the sashing, and I don't know if you all can see because
I'll
so muted.
I'll put the comments down, and then I can bring you up by your lonesome. There you go.
Can you all see how? Oh, let's see here. I've done the quilting on it, and if I put it in a certain angle, you can see it. And it's also, there's decorative fills. Instead of doing traditional appliques, I did decorative fills on the parts. So basically, this whole thing's been done in the machine itself.
That's beautiful.
So I cut all the parts, and then I did it on the machine. So that I was going to show you that. We're going to play a little bit with text. And then we'll set up for auto quilt sash borders. And I've got a completed project here. Oops, upside down. Oops.
Ooh, let me see that up
Using
close.
the auto quilt sash borders. And it is amazing how well they line up. And if you don't want to do borders around things, you can always use the pieces. And if you'll notice my little back pocket here to close things up.
Oh, I love that.
Is just taking two of the pieces and putting them together. And then I did the buttonhole on the machine too. So, I mean, the whole thing besides the construction has been done on the machine.
That's awesome. Aren't you offering an online class showing how to put that kit together, actually, aren't you?
I am. I'm offering an online class for 20, a Zoom class, and we are starting that next Wednesday.
So if anybody's interested in that, be sure to message Cindy. Because are you full though yet?
Well, I had a few people that had date conflicts, so I have a couple of spots left. I'm going to give the others until Saturday to have their money in, and then I'm going to open it up to the world.
There you go. So you can message Cindy, but if you want to see that. So where would you like to start? Because I know I'm so excited to see this.
All right. Somebody who said too low, they can't see the front. So here. Is that better?
There you go. Oh, yes, that's way better.
So there you go.
Thanks, Shirley. my second set of eyeballs.
Yeah, I can't see when I hold something up, so I have no idea what it is.
Definitely.
Oh, you've got smoke and you. Oh.
I know, Pam. That does not sound good. Margaret's already signed up for your class.
Yes, she sure is, Margaret. And I mean, I've got a whole within 5 minutes, my email was blowing up. So it is evidently I gave it 3 options as to how we would do it, and everybody has chosen all in. So they want to begin from the beginning in the software program.
Which is very
So that's
cool.
where we're going to start. All right, so today we're going to play a little bit in My Design Center. We're going to play with text, and then we'll talk about auto quilt sash borders. Okay?
Perfect. All right.
We'll see where we go from there. Okay, guys, take me off so I can flip over to another camera.
All right. Hey, Donna, I just saw your question. So if you would like information on her online class, just when we're finished with the live show, you can message her on Facebook, and then she'll get back to you. So that should work. I see. You just give me thumbs up when you're ready, Cindy, because I can. Your room's looking good.
I got to flip over so I can see you on the other screen. I got to pop you over there.
Sorry about the noise. I have the lawn is being taken care of and work on the air conditioning. So if you guys hear anything, it's I just thought you wanted more entertainment for today.
Okay, so am I up? Let me get on the different. Oh, no, I wanted the big one. Okay. So am I zoomed in? Can you see it zoomed in enough?
Nope, I don't see you. You are on the wrong camera.
Wrong camera.
Yeah. So, by the way, Jenny, this is the top I showed you guys maybe about a month ago. Remember the green one that it's one piece of fabric where I added elastic? I took it in a little bit in the side because I didn't want it quite as baggy, but this is it. I went and washed it so it wasn't dusty and I wouldn't start sneezing in the middle of Facebook. Her Facebook, Beverly, is Cynthia's Embroidery. So, yeah, now you're on the right screen, Cindy.
Ah, sometimes it just takes 2 of us to get in here. Otherwise, and I can't back up far enough for y'all to be able to see me in it unless I stick my head in here. There you go. Because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And if you haven't noticed, my magnetic sash frame is on here. It has just become my favorite thing for everything. I don't care what it is. I just slap it on there. It stays on here.
I love that. I love mine on the Luminaire too, I have to say.
Well, that's what's sitting on my Luminaire as well. So it's a fun little guy. I'm going to flip to the other camera here real quick so you can zoom up and see what I'm doing. All right. So actually, let me pack back in there. So y'all can see my little pumpkin down here?
Yeah.
He has no decorative fill on him. He's just slapped down there with adhesive backing. Okay. So I was going to show you first adding text, and then we'll go into My Design Center. So I wanted you to see what was actually in the hoop before we started here, because this machine has some really cool features in text. So if I come into my text tool, I have different fonts that I can select from. And don't worry, if you pick one and you don't like it, you can always change it. So I'm going to put in thanks. And it automatically starts with uppercase, but you have tabs to go to the other cases. Where's the end there, guys? There we go. And if I wanted to, I can press set. I could have done 2 lines of text. I could have done give thanks. Let's try that one instead. So let's just delete what we've got. Come back in, and otherwise I'd have to delete it there. No big deal, but it's faster this way. GIV. Enter. And then go back to your uppercase and type in thanks. All right, I'm going to set that. So I want to see how it looks on my project. We have a camera built in here, just like we do on the Luminaire, the Dream. And it's going to take a picture. And if you notice right now, I've got a red line around both pieces. That's telling me both of those parts are selected. It's actually grouped. So anything, if I move it, I'm going to move the whole kit and caboodle. All right. Now, if I decide, that's not really what I want, I think I want to change my text to something else. I can ungroup it. That right there is your ungroup button. So now you'll see I've got a red line around one and one around the other. Then if I select the top one, I can come in and I can come choose a different style of font just by touching that little button right there. Let's say we want to go with Gothic. No, not so much.
No, not so much. That's not going to look good with a pumpkin.
Yeah, no, not so much. I mean, you've got choices. So you're not stuck with what you put in there. You don't actually have to go backwards. You can just go in and choose it. But I actually liked the one I selected to begin with. So if I click OK, let's go back in there and return. Oh, return back in. I can undo and go back to what I had before. Now, if we want to touch, this is cool. This is one of my favorite things right now. I'm going to select the top one and I'm going to touch multicolor. And then I'm going to select the bottom one and I'm going to touch multicolor. Well, it didn't change their colors, right? Because it doesn't know what colors you want to choose. When you touch the one you want to look at and you go into the threads, you'll notice it's divided it all out. So let's say I want green on every other one.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've got green on every other one, right? So now if I link my black colors, this is really slick. I can come in and say, I want you all to be orange. Ooh, no, that doesn't look so good. Let's make you purple. You have control right here. And that is the bomb. Until you find the color selection that you want. So if you touch your greens and you decide green was not what I really wanted, I can touch my link and it'll grab my greens and I can change those to a different color.
Arnell says, yes, purple.
So depends on what you want to do. I'll grab green and just go ahead and leave it there and touch OK. Now, when I touch End Edit, I have a couple of buttons here. I can touch this one right here and I will be color sorted. So instead, and that little notification center is telling me that that's not a green color there, that I might want to switch it. It gives me a notification of things that I might want to change based on the colors that I've told it that are on my needles. But you'll notice all of my red, all of my pinks are all together and all of my greens are now all together, so that it automatically color sorts for me.
That's nice.
That is one of those things that I really like. I love the linking those colors together and just being able to change everything at once. If I wanted to add something to this, just like in every other machine that we have, that it has a color screen on it, I guess I should clarify that. I can touch Add, and let's say I want to add a decorative element from my buttonhole area here to this. I'm going to touch that one, and I'm going to touch this one, and I'm going to touch Set, and I can bring it over here, and then I can rotate it. You want two of them, you can duplicate it and put one at the bottom, and then you can rotate it to where it's the opposite direction. And if you want to align those two, this is the bomb. Touch your select tool, touch that one, and touch OK. You now have alignment tools right here on the machine, no software required.
Oh, that's so nice.
Touch OK, and that design element's ready to go.
So, hey, Cindy, real quick. Someone just asked while you're in that screen, can you arc the words?
Can I arc the words? Yes, I can. So if I touch my text, oh, Lordy, you would ask me to do that when I'm not paying attention.
You can do it later, too.
Array.
There you go.
Just had to remember where it was on this one.
I know.
You can also play with it. So if you don't want it arced, you can actually make it a diagonal line. You can change the level of the arc. So if you want it more arc, you can arc it more or less.
That's cool.
But you can also come in here and I'm going to set that. I'm going to touch this button right here. That lets me put a slice between two letters. So if I want to slice things apart, I should now have 4 individual letters, which then allows me to move them and allows me to rotate them. You could even flip them upside down if you want to, because at that point, they're no longer text. But if you do something you don't like, I love my undo button because it will take me back to where the beginning. Okay. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you there. And I mean, you can always group everything if you touch your little selection tool down here. This one right here selects it all. And then you can group it so that you can move that as a unit and move it wherever you want to on the screen. Okay.
That looks great.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, just a couple. So by the way, some of you are asking about different costs. You need to call a brother dealer for that. So we're ambassadors. We don't have that information for you. So just call your local brother dealer and you can go to brothersews.com. If you scroll to the bottom, that's where you'll find the dealer. So I saw a few questions about that. Veronica wanted to know, did you tell it to color sort? There was a few questions about color. So first of all, did you tell it to color sort? And there was one more. It made me think of the thermos. How do it know? How did it know what colors were in each spool?
That's based on the settings that you have in your settings menu. So if I go in here and I look and see, let's find, oh, I'm hit the wrong button down there. Let's go here. These are the colors that are assigned to my needles. So if I change the colors that are assigned to my needles, it will change what what message it tells me as far as what color I need to change.
Okay.
And yes, I did color sort. You want to know where that color sort button is? It's not on this screen. You touch End Edit. This button right here is your magic color sort button. Right there.
There you go.
Okay. And I've got tie-ins and tie-offs, so it ties it when it trims.
Perfect.
Okay. So let's go home again. And let's talk a little bit about creating your own decorative fills for quilting. My design center is on this machine as well as on other machines that we have. This one's oriented differently than we are on the home market. So on the home market machines, we're this way. This one's horizontal. I did say, yeah, that is horizontal. I'm going to touch image scan because I don't want it to create the design for me. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to touch scan and touch OK.
Hey, Janet, the machine is the 1055X, just for your information. Someone had just asked exactly what machine that is that they should be asking the dealer about. That was a good question.
Yeah. The nice thing about a 1055X is that you don't have to take apart stuff when you're using it. So if you're using it, embroidering on a bag, you don't have to stand on your head to get that bag done. And you don't have to take it apart. You can just use it. I've got my table on right now, but you don't have to have your table on. When I've got weight on it, I either have my table or my tubular frame table, which is your new best friend, I'm understanding, Angela. Okay, so I've scanned my back. I've scanned in what's in my hoop, and you can see my pumpkin. I'm going to zoom in on it. And I'm going to start with what I want it to embroider first. And that would be my stem. So I'm going to go into my properties and I'm going to pick myself a decorative fill. And there are 30 something in here, 36 decorative fills that you can select from. You touch one. I'm going to go with Crackle. Touch OK, pick the color that you want to use, touch OK, and I'm going to use my paintbrush for this activity. That lets me come in here and draw it in.
I was
like
just playing with the paintbrush recently, and I absolutely love that.
This is a fun little feature. And if you want a different size paintbrush, go back into your properties and scroll down and get a smaller paintbrush. And then you can do the tinier areas. Y'all are going to love my magic here in a minute. Once I've got its exterior, the perimeter done, I can grab my paint bucket, touch it, and it fills in the rest of that area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you go to your next color. So I'm going to go back into our properties and I'm going to pick a different decorative fill. Oh, what do we like today?
I would say fish, but I'm not sure that would work so well with a pumpkin.
Yeah, not so much. Let's try these. And we'll touch OK. And I'm going to grab green and touch OK and do the same thing. I want a bigger paintbrush because I want to go the edges. And I want to make sure I grab my paintbrush. I have a tendency to grab the paint bucket and to forget that I did the paint bucket at the end. So I have to remind myself, grab the paintbrush. And if it goes outside, it's not going to kill the project, I promise. You navigate through it from that top little red square up here. That lets you move around your workspace. You always have an eraser tool if you get outside of the line, if you color outside of the lines and you don't like it. Then I'm going to grab my paint bucket and pour in the rest of it. So you can see I'm filled in. And then you would do the same thing for the last one. Yes, ma'am.
No, I said that looks great.
So we're going to go in, and there is a little bit magic to this last one. Oh, what do we want?
You all can keep asking questions because we'll take them all shortly when we take a little break here.
Actually, I'm going to do a fill this time just to make it a little bit easier for me to see what's going on. Oh, undo. What did I do? I forgot to do the paintbrush.
Oh, I do that all the time. I'm glad I'm not the only one, but that's why the undo button is your best friend.
Yes, ma'am. Undo is a wonderful little tool. I don't know. Well, I do know.
I need this.
What was that?
Jane says she needs this.
I mean, it's a different way to do an applique. It's not your traditional applique. You're going to have raw edges. So you want to use a fusible. But it's kind of fun to see the different looks that you can get with it. And it's not going to be like everybody else's quilt. Or whatever you just choose to make this into. This may be a placemat. I don't know. Right now, it's just a project for you all to see what's going on here and how this works. It was small enough for me to be able to navigate through the whole thing in one session. All right. So I'm connected up, right? I'm going to zoom out. I didn't go all the way around the nitty gritty in the middle because I don't have to. I'm going to come back in. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and touch my paint bucket, touch that fill. Evidently, I'm open somewhere. So let's see. Where did I not connect up? That is a good thing to know right there. I have a little bitty open spot right there. So I'm going to grab a smaller paintbrush. Undo. Paintbrush. And touch that. So now, let's make sure the other side is. It's closed. Everything else is closed, right? Now we should be able to get our paint bucket. There we go. So if you have an open area, it will bleed out. You just need to make sure that you close it up. So wherever you left off somewhere, you can go in and look and see. We're going to put this one on it.
Oh, that'll look good.
Touch OK, and now I can paint the whole thing in with the decorative fill. When you touch next, you're ready to put the properties to it. So if you don't want that crackle to be that big, you can come in and change the size down. Touch OK. You can turn on and off your outline. I kind of like the outline on for these items. You can change your thread thickness to from a triple stitch to a single stitch, and it will path it as close as it can to that single stitch. I love that feature. That makes it take less time to embroider. You can touch the next area, do the same thing. Since these are small, it's kind of nice to change them up. But let's say I have the same decorative fill here and here. So let's see here. I want to come in and change that. How about, let's see. How about that one? And it'll automatically change that area to that decorative fill. Once again, if you want the outline on, turn it on. You can change the size, and you can change the color if you decided you didn't like that color. And I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to turn on the outline for that one. We're going to touch OK. And we are going to set this. And how am I doing on time, Ange?
Oh, you're doing great. It's only 12:30. We got 5 hours, right?
Touch OK, and my design is now on my screen.
Oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
Now, let's go in and make sure that it's in the right place. So we're going to end edit, and I want you all to see this live camera scan. This is the bomb. This button right here is magical. When you touch that, it tells you your thing's going to move, but you're going to actually see your design on your project. And you can move around the project area. So you can see I'm a little bit over to the left. So I'm going to take it and change it and move it a little bit and move it down just a hair.
Wow.
And if you want to check it in another spot, you can always go in and check where your needle's going to drop, and you can see exactly where it is on that project. That makes such a difference.
That's really cool, Cindy.
And when you're done, you get out of your live camera, touch embroidery, and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay?
That's amazing.
So I'm ready for questions. I'll come flip it. Yeah, no, I'll just stand right here. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and sit at the camera, and we'll bring up a few of the questions.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And a lot of those features are on the Luminaire as well, which I've been playing with. I love the My Design Center. So there were a lot of, go ahead and throw in your questions. I'll go back and answer the ones that I saw rolling through as soon as Cindy sits down. But Crystal wants to know, oh, wait till she's back. I know. I've got my machine right here, ready to work on some projects today. There you are.
Yes.
All right. So is this an upgrade for the 1050X?
No. Some of the big differences are the text editing and the extra decorative fills. The live camera is on the 1050. The auto quilt sash borders are exclusive to the 1055. There is not an upgrade from a 1050 to a 1055.
Okay. Janet has a few questions, but I think the main one is what is the largest quilting space? So that would be basically what's the largest hoop that we can use.
That is 8 by 14. Yeah, 7 7/8 by 14.
There you go. And then you just keep moving it. It's very easy to do. Let's see. Shirley says you have a very steady hand.
It's pretty good going upside down too.
When you're leaning over a camera and everything. Janice says, what a game changer with Undo. I know, absolutely. Okay, Wanda has a great question. Will it let you save the designs for future use, and can another brother machine read it? A single needle machine.
It lets you save the design for future use. If you have embroidery, if you have P Design 11, it will read the PHX file format because it saves it out as a PHX, and then you could save it in another format. So you could save it back out as a PES format.
Okay. Is this feature different? Yes, than the 1050. Oh, you know what she was talking about is when you were doing the My Design Center. Is that the same as the one that on the 1050?
It is virtually the same as what is in the 1050, except for there's more decorative fills. And there's new selection tools. That is a game changer if you're making things on your screen. There are point-to-point selection tools in My Design Center. So if you're trying to cut out a specific spot, let's say you had it auto-generate something instead of creating it yourself, then it's easier to take things out.
Perfect. Janet said, is there a lot of standing with this machine or sitting? How ergonomic is it?
There is a lot of standing, or you can get yourself a stool, but usually you set it up and then you go away from it. So if I wanted to sit there and play with it, I would grab a stool and raise myself up just so that I would be in a more ergonomic position. I have my stand set low because I'm short. You can have it set higher, but I can't reach the thread spools to change the threads out if it's up higher. Yours is probably up higher than mine, Ange.
Mine's higher, yeah. But it's not like a sewing machine where you sit there and stay there, you know?
No, you get it set up and you kind of walk away.
All right, now this, I don't know if I'm just not thinking the right thing. I cannot think of what this machine is. Well, I think she corrected it. Can we do this? First, I thought she said, can we do this on Valiant? Well, I don't know, but can we do this but she corrected it to the Valiant. But I cannot absolutely not think of what machine that is.
Persona. I think their Valiant is our Persona.
Oh, I've only heard of it as Personas. Is that what you were talking about? Is that Cynthia?
Is it a single needle PR type machine? Single needle.
Cynthia, give us a little more information on what machine you're talking about.
I think the Valiant is our Persona, and no, it does not have My Design Center in it.
Okay. Hey, Karina, nice to see you. And we got Debbie in from San Diego. Chrissy wants to know, when you resize, does it resize the stitch? Does the stitch count alter?
Yes. If I'm doing something in My Design Center, it's automatically going to be adjusting it based on what space you put it in. So, I mean, it's like I was in a software program generating stitches. If I'm in the edit menu and I touch resize with stitch recalculation, it will resize and recalculate the stitches. It has a certain percentage that it can go, but it resizes and recalculates.
Louisa says, your stylus is so great. And yeah, well, I'm sure, I don't even know if you can buy a stylus. I would think
you can buy them.
I lose mine all the time, so I should just buy a whole little package of them and leave them over in the corner.
And it comes with a machine. I mean, that's the one that comes with it. It comes with now I will say they're interchangeable because it comes with all of the scan and cuts. It came with my Dream. It comes with this machine. So it came with the Persona. It's with all of my machines. So if I don't remember where that one is, and by the way, guys, you'll notice that I try with that one to put it in its little space above the screen. Right behind the screen, there's a little holder for that particular item. That and the needle threader, I tend to walk off with if I don't put it back in its spot.
Gotcha. And Jenny, I have to laugh, though. She said it needs a hydraulic lift table. I have to tell you, I have lifts now for all my machines where my table can go high or low. And, I'm sure they have one for a 10 needle. I mean, I'm not 100% positive, but if they don't, I mean, I've used some of my desks too, but it just depends how heavy it is. But that's not a Brother product, so I can't really say much. But
I have lift tables for everything.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm, sewing and I want to stand up. Sometimes I'm sitting. Same with all of my desks. So it sounds like the Valiant is not a Brother product. So sorry, guys, I got to skip that.
10 needle for Baby Lux. So I don't know if it's their new one. It does have My Design Center in it if it's their 10 needle. I just don't know which version of it is that one.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's why I didn't recognize the name. I'm thinking, I don't remember that one. Okay, let's see. I think I saw a few more things in here. Oh, we got Montana, Ohio. Hold on one sec. I thought I saw one more question here.
There's somebody asking about the 1250 single needle. Can she get quilt fills to work on it? Not in the machine itself. That would be a software item in our P Design 11. You do have decorative fills that you can, there's 50 something in P Design 11 that you can use. The ones that are in the machines, as well as there's extras in P Design. Plus you can make your own, and they're super simple to make.
Yeah. So here was one from Shirley. If you have an older version of a 10 needle without My Design Center, can you create this? She must have a luminaire and save it to a USB and take it to your 10 needle. I think you already answered this kind of, but not exactly the same question.
That machine is not going to read a PHC file. So once again, you'd have to go through software. You'd have to go through P Design to save it to a PES file to where it would read it there.
And then sorry about the Ring doorbell, guys. There's a lot going on at my office today. Everybody's dog's going to be barking. Janice wants to know if it has the list for the Floriani colors, which is not a Brother product, but in the machine, you can actually choose, if you have a favorite embroidery color, you choose that in there in your settings, and then you can always have the exact colors in there, which I love that feature, by the way.
Yes, you can choose the Floriani thread palette.
Christine says, I wish they had financing in Canada. Oh, I will keep my fingers crossed for you. But those in the USA, by the way, I know this last weekend they had 0% financing. And I think, I can't say for sure, but you have to call your Brother dealer if it's still good. Because I know it was last weekend. That was a big special. So you might want to check. Okay, let's see. What else? A few new questions rolled in. Kim wants to, I'd really be interested in hearing it run for noise level.
Well, I can let it run. I can put that on and let it run. I don't have a problem with that, but we can't really talk over. I can't hear you because my sound is so low, but I'll be happy to turn it on if you all would like that for a minute. It's not as quiet as a luminaire. It's not as loud as the old 1000s or a 6 needle, but it is not as quiet as a luminaire.
All right, here's one. We've answered this in past shows, but not today so far. Can the magnetic frame be used on the 1050X?
It will be able to be used on the 1050X after late October is my understanding, that there will be a software update that will allow you to use the magnetic frame on it. Mm-hmm. Also on a 6 needle. The 6 needle will not have as large of a field because they don't have the 14 inches. They'll get 12 inches, but it's the same hoop. And the 670. So the 670 would be the it can't be below a 670 because the arm, evidently there's something in the brain or the arm, I don't know which, but it's a 670 and all of the 1000s. Yeah.
So Sheila, that kind of answers you for the magnetic frame. The magnetic hoop, I think is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Eileen says, which hoop? Well, there's the magnetic hoop. There's one that she has on her 10 needle, and then there's a magnetic hoop for the luminaire, either or. Yes. They're both different, obviously, and they're specific for those machines.
Yes, and you can't mix up the magnets. The 10 needles are white. The single needle or the luminaires are gray, but they also have a different look on the magnet. The V on the 10 needle is deeper. So they won't fit on each other.
Yeah, Cindy's anxiously waiting for her upgrade. Thanks, Jenny.
And the only single needle machines that the magnetic frame works on is the luminaire. That is the only one that we have a magnetic frame for from Brother. Yeah.
So Wanda wants. Pam said, "Thank you for telling me that it's my Ring doorbell." I know every time that the guys are walking in and out, I told them I have a live show. I forgot about the Ring doorbell. We're getting ready for a big event next week. Well, not big, a small event, so we can social distance. But a pants fitting class starts on Monday, and I got to get this place in order.
Get wind going.
Do what?
Get wind going on that. Crack the whip, girl.
I know. He's in charge of food and desserts.
He does a really good job with that. Your
Experience.
Uber driver.
So that all I can, I got Wanda here, says, can you connect multiple machines?
For the 10 needle, yes, through P Design 11, there is a link function and it's wireless. So I can, if I had multiple 1055s, I could put them in wherever I want them to be as long as they're connected to my wireless internet. And I can send up to 100 designs at one time. What happens is it embroiders, and you can choose which machines you want to send which designs to. You can send the same thing to all of them, or you can send different designs to different machines. It will embroider one. Unfortunately, it will not hoop for you and know what you've got in there. So you do have to set it up on the machine. It's not that intuitive yet. One day they won't need us, but right now it still needs us to do a little bit of the operation. It embroiders that one. The next design in the queue will pop up. You get that ready and it'll embroider that one. So and you can hit a magic wand and have it sort the designs to where you have to make the fewest color changes on your machine. That is the best way.
Are there instructions in the playbook for the 1050X? I don't think so. There isn't a playbook for the 10 needle, is there?
Yes, there is a 1055X playbook. And there's a 1050 playbook that's out there. But the 1055 has its own new playbook. And yes, it's a very nice playbook. I have it downstairs. I should have brought it up. I didn't even think about that. It's my reading material right now. So
Perfect. And Kim and Beverly, I see you asking questions about upgrades. She answered that. And if anybody rolled in late, just go back when we're finished and start from the beginning again.
Yeah,
that was just about
that one's already been answered.
Everybody's saying their dogs are answering the Ring doorbell. I'm making your dogs crazy today.
One of the new things on the 1055 is that color sort. So we don't have that. I don't have that on my 1050. And I really like that little feature. That and the linking colors. That linking colors is the bomb.
I like it. So Beverly, the playbooks, I'm sure you can probably call your brother dealer and order one there. They might not have them in stock, but they could get it for you.
Yes.
Definitely.
They should be hitting the dealership. They should have them in stock at this point, unless they've sold out of them.
And they can ship it too, correct? The playbooks. So even if you don't have a dealer close to you, well, you could check with your dealer. Just ask.
Check with your dealer, because I don't know if they did that as a protected product within an area or not. There's different levels of protection, and I don't know. I can't give you that specific answer. The best answer I can give you is check with your local dealer and see what they can do.
Definitely.
Allowed.
I think I got. So speaking of pants, by the way, Cindy, next week we're making pants. So I know you're coming on the show next week, but we're going to have to ask you a huge favor that one of these weeks you show us that new hoop and show us how to embroider our jeans after they're made.
The new frame table.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The frame table.
Yeah. We can show that next week, as well as the quilting. We can do that.
You might just have to come on every Thursday for the next few weeks until we can get all the stuff for this machine.
There's a lot of fun stuff in this machine.
Oh my gosh.
Things that I would normally go to my flatbed, to my luminaire, I'm getting to be able to do over here in a faster rate because I don't have to babysit it. And that's really nice.
I am going to put up our websites down below, because I saw some people asking about your class. So if you go to Cynthia's Embroidery, and then I also have the Brother Sews blog on here, which has a ton of great projects for you guys to use. And don't forget about the free design of the month that Joanne always puts up on that blog. And then my website's down there as well if you are looking for me for any reason.
Okay, so let's talk about setting up for next week, for what we're going to do next week, because I'm not going to flip it out since somebody wants to hear the machine go. So if you're working for Quilt Sash Borders, the first thing you need to do is take a measurement of where the area you want to do. So if I'm doing my black border here, I would measure from one side to the other. If I can get my hand, this is hard to do backwards. I don't know if you all realize that. So I would measure from here to here, and then turn it and measure from which hand's here? From the other end of the black to the other side of the black. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I've got that measurement. We'll set it up so that we get ready for next week, so that we can stitch that other. And then you measure how wide that border is. So if I were planning on going on the exterior one, I would do the same thing from orange edge to orange edge on every side. So actually, you only have to measure 2 sides, the width and the height.
Okay.
And once you've got that down, you're good.
Save that for next week then.
Yes, that is my thought.
I think that's a great idea. All right.
So what else we want to do?
I think that was a lot of the questions. I'm just laughing at what you said earlier about putting Win to work. So for those that don't know, last year, all the brand ambassadors came to my studio. It can hardly be that was a year ago. It feels like it was longer, but Win was in charge of food. And Cindy, everyone here has probably heard me talk about my husband before. He's awesome, but he's hilarious sometimes. And so you have all ladies and 2 guys, right? It was all ladies and 2 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I said, I really want to make sure it's catered well. So if we could have little, breakfast, snackaroos, a little dessert before lunch, a little afternoon snack. Now, by the way, we're only there from like 9 to 4. So it was, I guess I got a little carried away. So here he comes in with trays and trays of food for like the little snackaroo. And we're all like, oh my gosh. And then the desserts, trays and trays. So that evening I said, how much did you think we were going to eat? He goes, well, just in case somebody didn't like one kind, he bought a ton of different kinds. We had enough desserts forever.
Yes.
So the ladies coming next week, I just hope we're going to measure for the pants on Monday. And if they don't fit by Friday, no worries. And by the time you get home, a week later, they'll fit again. That's kind of how
there you go.
Oh, Eileen, the pattern for my red top, we did on a live show. I can look up what number it was, but it was a few weeks back. Actually, I think it was about 2 months back. And I can look up the show number. And I show you how to take a piece of fabric and drape it and make that. Yeah. Diane, jeans. I'm going to be doing a jean sew along towards the end of October. I'm trying to source some denim right now, so stay tuned. Let's see. Oh, we got Mississippi.
I hope you survived the hurricane.
Oh gosh, I was watching that this morning. That was not looking good. All right. I think if you guys don't have any more questions for us, do you want to hit go on yours and we'll end the show?
Go. Well, maybe I should show them how to change the colors if they want to. So let me switch. So go ahead, take me down.
Okay.
And I'll switch
camera. Back in a moment. So she's going to show us how to change colors. She'll do a little stitching and then we will end the show. Our hour is just about finished. Not that we have to take up a whole hour, but it seems that you have to cut us off or we'll be on all day. Oh, Lorraine, great to see you. And we have Germany in the house. All right.
Okay.
Welcome, Josie. You ready for me?
I am ready for you.
All right.
So if I want to change my colors, so let's say if we look at my threads, y'all can't see my threads. Let me switch out just a second. So you see my threads. I've got orange back there on needle number 7. My brown is on needle number 2. So if I'm doing this, if this is a one and done, I will touch my magic wand and say, my brown is on needle number 2 and touch that. And my green is on needle number 5 and touch, oops, I hit the wrong one. So brown, 2, green, 5, tangerine is on, what did I say that was? 7.
Will you bring your screen when you're touching it closer? Because we
sorry.
can hardly see that.
All right, let's try it again. Let me reset. So brown is on needle number 2. So I touch the brown and I touch my number 2. I touch green, that's on needle number 5, so I don't need to change it. And I touch 1, that's tangerine, and that is on my needle number 7. So that is temporary change. And the next time it comes up, it's gonna, those colors will not hold. If I want to change it for all time, I can touch my thread exchange, and I can tell it, well, needle number 1, needle number 2 is brown. So I can touch that one and touch that one, and I can say, switch you up. So then when I go back and look, you'll notice my light brown is now on 2. And if I want my tangerine to be orange, I don't think I actually have an orange assigned. So what color? Oh, that's tangerine. Okay. So come here. And what did I say those on needle 7? Switch them.
Oh my gosh.
If I came back and did this again, they would be the colors would be switched up, and I wouldn't have to change it. I wouldn't have to think about changing it. That would be where those colors are assigned. So I'm going to go ahead and press lock and press the go button, and it's going to start embroidering. And I'll switch back over to the other camera while it's running.
Oh, nice. That's not that loud.
It's not terrible. And I could have put in my text back in, but we're just going to do this part.
I like that.
Y'all want me to try to do one on it?
Yes, this video will be available for replay. We're live right now with you on here. And as soon as we're not live, it usually takes just a few minutes. You can find the video again if you go to Brother Sew's Facebook page or Brother YouTube page, either one. And Cindy does have other videos. Oh, I heard echo. Cindy does have other videos. If you go to, I have her website down below. Go to her page because she does a show on Tuesdays as well. So you go there and you can see all of her replays.
So it's not too terrible as far as sound goes.
Not bad at all. Oh, Jenny, thank you. She said she wishes we were on all day.
I'm going to flip back over here while that's going.
This is Jenny said the same thing.
Okay. So it's not terrible. It's not one that, I will say if I'm downstairs, because this is right above my living room, I don't need to use the monitoring function because my floor shakes. I can hear it. It's just because this room happens to be over my living room. In other houses, I haven't done. That's not been the case. So I do know when it's done. So
that's funny.
There is a monitoring app though. So if you're not, if it's in a different space in your house, you can set up your monitoring app. It's called My Stitch Monitor, and it will you can watch it as it embroiders, and it will ding you. If you have a smart watch, it will tell you, and you pair it, it will tell you that when it's what needs to be done. If a needle's thread's broken or needs a bobbin, it tells you what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Hey, Josie says, new to embroidery, so don't even know how to set up your machine or anything. Do you have lessons on this? Well, first off, what machine do you have? And secondly, your dealer might have classes. There's a ton of YouTube videos. And depending on the machine, we do a lot of these on the Brother Sews page live. So yeah. I'm sure if you go on YouTube under Brother Sews that you'll find some videos that will show you how to set up whatever machine you have.
And I think, don't Emily and Laura do a lot with some machines as well?
Yes.
On the blog.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, go to the Brother blog too, which you can see down below. And if you search what machine you're looking for, that will be on there as well.
Yes.
Cindy, you're the multi-needle guru. I agree, by the way.
I don't know that I'll agree with that, but I'm gaining on it,
Tammy says that machine's much quieter.
It is much quieter than my original 1000.
Marianne said she'd never get anything done. I'm with you. So Janet wants to know if you've actually quilted a whole quilt yet. Don't ask me that because I have a whole box of UFO projects over here.
I don't have I'm not a big quilter. I will be honest with that. I'm not a big quilter, but I do wall hangings. And this one is quilted. I've completed the entire thing. I finished it up last night. Oh, it's telling me I need something. My lights are flashing. I must need a new bobbin.
That's only because we're live, Cindy.
Yeah. Well, and because I did this entire. Oh, you know what? It is because I need a new bobbin, because I wound a colored bobbin so that my backside wasn't with white bobbin thread. So I know that's what it is.
Definitely. I just saw somebody ask, does the machine take a lot of room? Actually, not as much as you'd think.
No, it really doesn't take. It takes less room than my Luminaire.
Yeah.
Because it's self-contained. It's got its own stand.
And I saw somebody ask about the Stellaire. Yes. By the way, I did a ton of videos last year on the Stellaire. So a lot of those were hosted on my Facebook page. So if you go to my Facebook page, which is, there'll be a link above here, or go to angelawolf.com, and on the right-hand side, just click on Facebook. It'll take you to my page, because I have groups and things like that, and some people get confused about that. If you go there and go through my videos, there's a whole section of tutorials on the Stellaire, and there's also a bunch of those on the Brother YouTube page too, and the blog. So you might want to go check those. Just punch in Stellaire.
Also, many of the things that I just did, you have on your Stellaire. It operates the same way. It's just going to be oriented a different direction. So you could do the exact same thing that I just did.
Definitely.
You would just take it with your MySnap app instead of the background scan.
Perfect. All right. Marianne says, YouTube has a ton. I agree. And I have a ton on my YouTube page as well. So, and you've got a ton of videos. So just go look us up, because we love to share with you. Can you demo how to wind a bobbin? Not today, Deborah.
Well, and this machine doesn't have a bobbin winder on it. So I used my Persona to do that. Or I also have a PQ 1500 that has a bobbin winder on it. So I can do it on either one of those. It uses the same bobbin as those two machines do.
I end up using the PQ 1500 unless I buy the, pre-wound bobbins.
Yeah. So
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Well, Cindy, this was a lot of fun. I can hardly wait till next week. So Tuesday, for the schedule for next week, Tuesday, you have your show at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will be popping in at 3 p.m. on the Brother page let's see, let me just double check who's coming on while you guys ask your last little questions.
And I may be a little bit late next Tuesday, because it depends on how long my moderated session goes. So hopefully I'll be on time. And I think I will, because it's Scan and Cut. We shouldn't last too long, but who knows?
So, okay. May Flom is coming on, which this is going to be so exciting, because Cindy, guess what I have in my office now?
A heat press.
Yes, so the Scan and Cut is going to be so busy next week. I can hardly wait. And May's going to be coming on talking about crafting. So I think that's going to be fun. That's at 3 p.m. on Tuesday. By the way, just full disclosure, next week I have an in-house class here. So you're going to see the ladies fitting pants, which is going to be a lot of fun. And that's at 3 p.m. on Tuesday. You're at 4:30. On Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be behind the scenes, and this will really be behind the scenes. You're going to get to see everything we're working on. And then next Thursday, you and I are back here at noon, and we're going to do that quilt sashing, which everybody's dying to see. So you're just going to have to sit by the seat of your pants until next Thursday for that.
So, yeah.
I think that's the whole schedule for next week. Oh, Fashion Sewing Club at noon next week, too, for all of my little Fashion Sewing Club members that are on here, too. So, and don't forget, there's Cindy's website. Some of you asked how to contact her. I saw quite a few questions come through about your online class. So if you message her, would you just message her on Facebook, and she'll get back to you, because I'm sure we don't want to put your email in the middle of here. No.
This one's a little bit too much public.
Well, Cindy, have a great week. I can't wait to see you next week, and have a good weekend. And everyone, thank you for joining us, Brother. Thanks again for letting your brand ambassadors take over your page for another live show.
Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure.
See ya. Bye.
See ya.